broadcast of Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is season 8, episode 3, episode 318. How is it going?
Oh, yeah. It's all right.
Everybody's feeling the heat, literally, because we've had the hottest days on Earth record lately.
Yeah. So what a time to be alive, huh?
What a time.
What a time.
What a time.
Scorching.
And this is the rest of our lives.
Yep.
But exponentially worse as we go along.
Yes.
Although
I did read that El Nino was coming back. Remember that old friend from?
Yeah. But
So that's going to make it worse.
Yeah, so the next 3 years are going to be pretty bad, and then El Nino leaves, so it's probably going to get slightly less bad, but still, like,
depending on
it's
how
never
much
going
the planet
back.
has warmed.
Right, it's never going back. It's just
right.
El Nino's going to make it a little worse for the next couple.
El Nino is
funsies.
like that's the rainy season in like Southern California and like the West Coast, right?
No, I think that's La Nina is the rainy one. El Nino is like the winds and the heat.
Oh, okay.
I think. Don't quote me on this, folks.
Good times.
Do your research.
Fine, I'll look it up right now. El Nino is.
And why are they in Spanish?
Something about
because South American fishermen were the first ones to discover it in the 1600s.
See, I was
Okay.
going to go with
Good reason.
the wind channel.
Let's see. El Nino is the upwelling of warm waters across the equatorial Pacific that influences temperature and precipitation patterns across the U.S.
There you have it, folks.
Yes. So it's associated with wetter than average conditions from Southern California to along the Gulf Coast, drier than average conditions in the Pacific Northwest and Ohio Valley, and the potential for warmer than average winter across the northern part of the U.S.
So I think you were both right.
So exactly.
We were both right.
You were right about the rain, and I was right about the dry. We just
Yeah.
Either way,
weather's
doesn't
funny.
sound great.
No.
no.
As you're hearing this, we're actually recording this on Thursday, July 13th. So this episode will be out hopefully tomorrow, fingers crossed. So we have very minimal editing. So listen to all of our extra ums and uhs and spaces.
Just deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it. Deal with it this time.
It's real life. We're doing it
but
live.
I'm announcing that because this is Amanda's first official episode as a 39-year-old. Happy birthday, Amanda!
Oh, thank
birthday!
you. Oh, I feel so old all day. It's like I can't formulate words. I've been failing at life today. So
Welcome in.
Yeah, it's been a real crash landing into another year. So hopefully it gets better as my body like readjusts to this new age.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you can do it. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Okay.
But, before you know it, you'll be 40. And then you'll be like, what was that 39 about?
Yeah. It's weird. I feel like I've been feeling like that for like a couple of months already, like the lead up to it. It's like, no, you still have one more year. You still have one more year in this decade. Like, just stop your stressing. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's a bizarre feeling I've always been one to like celebrate aging because it is very much a blessing. Not everyone gets to do it. And we should be thankful for every moment we get. But I would be lying if I said there wasn't a big part of me that was like very like uncomfortably terrified of 40.
But 40's the new 30. It's gonna be great.
Right. But both of those things are true. And it's clearly affecting my my ability to function.
Yeah. And remember this, we talk about this like every time somebody has a birthday, but remember that Sex and the City episode, 30, fuck, I'm old.
Yeah, I think it was 28.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes, I think it was.
I'm like, if only.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you guys have a nice week off?
Yes.
It was 4th of July week.
It's like trying to think. Oh, right. We went on a great epic New England road trip.
That's right, you did.
Right.
Was it wonderful?
It was great.
Excellent.
One of us got car sick twice. I won't tell you which one of us it was.
Was it a person that turned 39 yesterday, or was it a person that is
It was not.
2? Okay.
It was not.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a puke go out a child's nose? Neither had I. It's gross.
Oh Lordy, I don't think I've ever seen that one actually.
It was really
poor girl.
It was not great.
Oh,
It was
my
not great.
goodness.
Just a city kid. We didn't know.
Yeah.
But now we do. Now we know how to adequately.
Do they make like kiddie Dramamine or?
I think they do.
I'm
But
sure
I need to
they do.
look
They make
into how
children diapers.
young
Yeah.
they can be to take it and what the dosages are.
I mean,
Yeah.
they can give stuff to cats, so I feel like, you know,
Right.
this is probably more than 15 pounds, right?
Yeah, last I checked.
It's got to work out somehow.
But it was very fun otherwise. All puking aside, we had a great trip. We saw a lot of people. We covered a lot of ground. It was fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. I am very happy to hear that. Good. I'm glad. Shandy Pants, did you have a good, I mean, I know the 4th of July is like your favorite holiday and you like really count down to celebrating it every year.
You know what? Actually, like we used to always have like the greatest 4th of July parties, believe it or not. But it was like back in the olden days when we had friends who like lived in the same place as us. So
Fair enough.
I feel like you used to talk about how you guys would have like barbecues.
yeah, they were great. Yeah. But a little bit harder to do when, you know, you don't know that many people.
True.
Well,
I'm
still new. You'll get there. You'll get there. It takes time to build a network.
I'm planning on being here for 4th of July next year, so you can come light sparklers in my driveway, or we'll come light sparklers in yours.
Your driveway or mine.
I was in Florida, a MAGA shithole. It was very hot.
Mega shithole with like 90-degree ocean right now because of global warming or climate change, I should say. And El Nino.
I will say that
geez,
it's
like a circle of hell, huh?
Yeah.
I love warm ocean water and warm pool water, so I actually did not mind that.
Great,
that was
but
like,
just like for the ocean, like
yeah.
Yeah, I don't love that for the ocean.
Like
I love that for you, but
yes.
So actually, there wasn't. So we went to. There's a. We were in Marco Island again. When I say it was a MAGA shithole, it was a fucking MAGA shithole. Like it was so uncomfortable to be around people that just like hate you, even or hate like people that just like they're told to hate because they're different. I mean, it's just
because you
so
like care about other people,
right.
You know, the world you inhabit and the air you breathe, and like just the really petty stuff.
Really petty stuff. Or but anyway, so. There was at one point we went to a different beach that is not the one that's like our usual one, and that like the big thing about this beach is that there's a lot of starfish that float through it. And the last 2 years that we went, we did encounter starfish in the water and sand dollars and whatnot, and It was very, very cool. There was nothing this year, and as we're like wading through it to like kind of see if we can see anything, Jay was like, this water is so hot that like it's hard to believe that anything is living in this water other than like deadly bacteria.
Exactly. It's like Yellowstone up in there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And it was hot. So yeah. But the one good thing I'll say about Florida, the one good thing is they have spectacular thunder and lightning storms.
Oh.
So on the 4th of July, they had fireworks on the beach, and then like just probably so in our periphery it was like right left, it was like right there, but like mile wise it was probably like 10 miles apart, right? And we had fireworks on one side and then this crazy like thunder and lightning storm on the other side, and like there was never any danger of like the rain coming for the fireworks because you could like tell, but like it was so cool. Like a firework would go off and then like it'd be like zigzag lightning. It was really, really cool. So I will give you that, Florida. Like Mother Nature hates you, but puts on a good show. But yeah, no, that was long out. Yeah, very cool. There was one night that we it was our last night there. I sat outside for 45 minutes and just watched the lightning. And I have so many videos because I just could not get over the fact that it was everywhere. Like it was, there was like zigzag lightnings and like flashes in the sky. And it was like everywhere
Cool.
you look. It wasn't even
Nice.
one concentrated place. Like you had to guess where it was going to come next.
Wow.
And like there would be, and because I was rewatching some of the videos to like delete some of them and like just because I don't need that many. I don't need 4 minutes worth of like 2-minute clips here and there.
No.
And even as I was watching them to delete them, I was like, gosh, like the sky really did light up, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and it looked like it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was really cool.
Wow.
So I can find nice things to say.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very diplomatic of you.
Yeah. Just a lot of MAGA flags.
Mm.
And tents. And koozies. And tumblers. And bumper stickers. And more flags.
It's a level of
Cultish.
dedication. Cult dedication.
Yeah, real cultish.
That's what I'd call it.
Like, you know, I don't know. I can't imagine ever flying a flag and like that level of merchandise for one single person.
Right. Just like blind adoration.
It's so weird.
It's
just
so
like
bizarre.
I mean, especially for a person that's that shitty, but yes, for any person.
right. Like
especially for like a horrible human being.
But like I understand. But even that aside, like bumper stickers and lawn signs, okay. That's like, you know, political affiliation, like
generally
throughout the
accepted
ages.
decorum.
Although bumper stickers, it's kind of like, man.
I've done bumper stickers before.
ugh.
I've done bumper stickers.
Yeah, but because like the idea is like once it's on until your car is like dead.
Oh, no. I actually I bought the magnetic sheets from Michael's.
Or like the static
actually-
ones that you can like, they just go in the inside and then you just peel them off. Those ones.
No, I put the bumper sticker on the magnetic sheet and then I just cut around it. So that way Shandy, you've been to my house recently. That Sherry Beasley bumper sticker that's on my garage, that's magnetic. Jay just took it off the car after the election and like threw it on the garage, and we're lazy and haven't moved it for 6 months. Yeah,
I'm fully on board with that, but it's like when you still have like a bumper sticker from like the 80s on your car.
I know. I think it's really funny sometimes when
not
I
all
see like
aged well.
Yeah,
No.
10 years. It's sort of like, well, a year is a
like
finite
winners.
amount of time.
Yeah. Yes.
Makes
Yes.
your car kind of a time machine in a certain way.
Even like Obama 08, like
I still see those and I'm like, guys.
That was, but it's like
it was a long time ago. Get over, like, come on,
like
let's
still
update
on
you.
Get over it. And you're like, I just can't get it off my car. You're supposed to cover it, but
that's the reason I'm skeptical about political bumper stickers. But I like your solution.
If you ever want, I'll give you a sheet.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. What if this conversation makes you think I want that?
Just the magnetic sheet, and then you put it on for election season, and you take it off when it's done.
Nope.
Shandy is literally doing the like no take backsies.
Nope. I feel like we've talked about this before. I've mentioned my car in high school. The bumper was like covered. Maybe we haven't talked about it. I feel like I posted a picture because we talked about it.
I think we did, but let's talk
I'm
about
like,
it again.
like,
you know what?
the
You can
whole
never talk about bumpers too much.
And it was great. And it was like, a budding form of self-expression. I was in high school and like many of them were very political. And I love it. And that's why I have a picture of it somewhere still. But now it's like this constant thing of like, Frank would kind of like to put a bunch on. And I'm like, can we put 0? and there's a tension there. So there's like a one Montana one that I was like, okay, I think we can agree on this. But like politics, no.
That's fair. I respect that logic. I respect it.
Yeah, good times. I don't know where we're going with this, but this week we are talking about 2 of my favorite movies: My Cousin Vinny and Legally Blonde. That was a really terrible transition, but we're just gonna roll with it.
It's a little problematic. Like both movies, one would argue, but enjoyable nonetheless.
But you know something? Neither of them were as problematic as I thought that they could be, and that was nice.
Yeah, they certainly balanced their like problematic parts with like fairly progressive parts as well. So I feel like it all kind of, the end result is enjoyable.
Frank walked in like halfway through Legally Blonde and caught just like a little bit of it, and then had an opinion. And I wasn't, I wasn't gonna
Yeah.
push it, but it's like, imagine if you don't really know like the premise and you didn't really watch it the whole way through, and you walk in and you're like, okay.
Jay was watching it in the background when I was watching it, and I didn't realize it was the first time that he'd seen it.
Ah.
So that
I
was
was like,
fun.
I was like, hey, think what you will about this movie, but that's Reese Witherspoon, who I've acted with in a scene. So.
Yeah.
Very true.
My good friend Reese.
Your good friend Reese. Laura Jean Poon.
But I also like couldn't help but think, it's like Reese Witherspoon is ageless. Like she still looks like our age. But then you look at that movie and you're like, oh no, she does age because she looks even younger in that movie.
She's so adorable.
She
in that
just
movie.
ages slower than the rest of us.
Yeah,
she really does. Yeah,
she's beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful. But she's so adorable in that movie. Which do you want to talk about first, Legally Blonde or My Cousin Vinny? I guess we're doing Legally Blonde.
Okay, let's go in reverse chronological order.
Yeah, that works.
I forgot how many lines came out of this movie that, like, I say to myself sometimes, or like, or in like when what's his face, Warner goes to her, you got into Harvard, and she's like, what, like it's hard?
That was pretty awesome.
It is pretty funny.
I do have to say the opening credits were very reminiscent to me of Clueless.
They were. And it took me until halfway through the movie to remember that, like, oh yeah, she was in college, not like high school. Because at one point I was like, man, there's a lot of people that just randomly like live in her father's house. And I was like, oh yeah, she went to law school, so she was in college.
Well, just like what a time capsule. Like I remember that song being like absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
And just like those little things, like the big chunky bracelet with like the heart pendant and those like Tiffany necklaces, those like really ugly, like chunky Tiffany necklaces that somehow like everybody had to have.
2001, man.
Yeah. The crop tops. Like it was just like, it really encapsulated like pop culture at that tiny moment in time.
The crop tops are like making a comeback, and I do not support this.
It's all making a comeback. It's very bizarre.
Oh yeah. Crop tops are like huge.
I do not support.
So long as we can keep our high-waisted stuff. I'm fine with the crop top so long as my pants can still go past my belly button.
Yes, please.
So long as I can do that, I'm here for it. I love that look. I will wear that look as long as this figure will allow me to feel comfortable in rocking that look.
Yeah.
As soon as we start lowering our pant line again, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, because I don't, and like, I mean, maybe in my approaching 40, I've become, I was going to say conservative, but we all know that's not what I mean. But like, it's not, not trying to be prudish, but I truly don't understand just like bearing midriff. Like you're clothed kind of from like shoulders to whatever. And like, if in the middle, some of it's just like, it looks cold, uncomfortable.
But it's about you feeling comfortable. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's about like if the person that's wearing it feels comfortable and like hot and like feeling their shit.
Do they?
I also kind of like the ventilation. I like that little bit of extra air.
Yeah. I would think it's cold. I think of like women in the office space. They're always cold because
I wouldn't wear
temperatures are made for men. So you're going to like show up.
I'm not wearing my crop top.
I'm just thinking about going out in your daily life. Like there are various different activities that one does. And that just seems very cold and uncomfortable.
Yeah, but they live in Southern California to start, and then like
it's not as hot as everyone thinks in Southern California.
That's very true. That's very true. I'm going to San Diego on Saturday, and I do need to dress accordingly because sometimes it does get chilly at night.
So bring a long sweater to go with your crop top.
Yes.
Bottom line, I'm not gonna lie. I think that might be my perfect outfit. Very high pants. We can do the crop top and a very long sweater. I think that might be the outfit. That might be the uniform, I think.
Yeah.
Because I'm but see, like here to counterpoint, I have a very short torso. So like even with a crop top
is just like a t-shirt for you.
It's just like an appropriately cut t-shirt. I get to show a little tiny bit of skin. I don't have to deal with like the awkward, weird hems or like the extra fabric that can kind of add and accentuate, make your middle look bigger. I don't know. I'm
thinking about the crop top, like where it's like 4-6 inches, sometimes now even more.
Oh yeah,
Again,
no. If you can see
bottom
underbuild,
line,
you've gone too far. You've gone too far.
Bottom line, obviously, everyone should dress however they want. I'm just saying, it's not for me, and I don't understand it.
That's fair.
Okay, but back to Legally Blonde. Other than like how fun the quotes were from this movie that I had forgotten about, I have this weird memory. Like, obviously, it's a false like memory that the UPS guy was the janitor from Scrubs.
They look very similar. I could see why you would think that.
But like, even up until the point where he came on screen, I was expecting it to be him.
Interesting. What I saw the janitor in Scrubs in something recently.
He was in something recently. He was definitely in something recently.
And I was like, holy shit, that's the janitor from Scrubs. I can't remember if it was like something recently that came out or something I watched recently that was old that I was like, oh shit.
Let me look real quick. His name is Neil Flynn.
Oh, you know what I think he's in? I think he's in Shrinking, which I just watched.
He is in Shrinking.
Yes.
You're right.
And there's that one
cameo in
episode
Shrinking. Yep.
Because Zach Braff like directs an episode.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, got it.
Yep. That's exactly it. He was in that episode of Shrinking.
I'll add that to the list.
Excellent.
Shrinking is so good.
Yeah.
I'm very behind on all the TV. I feel like there's just a lot of things to watch right now. But I feel like that's just like, we're in the age of streaming. Yeah. There's just too many things to watch, just generally speaking.
Yeah, no, but you'll have time because they're not making anything right now. So
exactly.
There's a good chance we're all going to catch up.
Everything's going to grind to a halt, except for Netflix that apparently like strike-proofed themselves. And
oh, did they really? We can talk about that after. But yes. So yeah, that was my biggest takeaway from Legally Blonde. I was like, wait, Neil Flynn is not the UPS guy in this movie? But okay, I don't know. I think it's I love both movies, and I had a good time watching both movies. I recognize that there were some issues with each one, but I feel like both of them are also like both issues are of the time that the movie was made in, and I don't think that those jokes would be like those. So I think for Legally Blonde, are we thinking what are you thinking would be the more problematic stuff? Because what Jay had pointed out was the scene in the courtroom where she knew he was gay because he knew designer clothing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like both movies rely very heavily on stereotype to make the joke. But I think, it's, if you peel back a little further, like these are big studio films. And like, if these strikes have taught us nothing, it's like big studio films cater to what they determine to be a mass appeal audience, which is a suburban white middle class audience. So like, with that lens in mind, yes, you can argue it's like of the time, but like neither here nor there, that's what it does. Yeah.
I feel like that particular thing could still be a joke, but approached and handled in a different way.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, it wasn't like mean-spirited, and
it wasn't mean-spirited at all. So I feel like that's something that could absolutely be reworked for a 2023 audience. Yeah, and because I don't think that any of that was intended to be like offensive. But if anybody out there is listening that is gay pool boy who knows their designers, please let us know.
Right.
Or who doesn't? And is like, hey, not all gay pool boys. No, but it sticks out today when you watch it as something that's like, oh yeah, it was 2001. Yeah. But it's not as there's something else in My Cousin Vinny that's like, okay, it was 1990 whatever, but like, ooh. Yeah. But I did just want to say before I forget, I forgot that Selma Blair was in it, and I forgot that they became friends at the end, which I loved.
Yes. Yeah.
And I also forgot until I'm just saying it now that they were together in Cruel Intentions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I also fucking loved. And it's also super problematic, but it's based on like one of my favorite ever books.
Well,
It's
Cruel
so
Intentions is
good.
Sarah Michelle Gellar and Ryan Phillippe and Reese Witherspoon, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Okay.
Selma Blair.
Selma Blair.
And that one
Yeah.
came out before Legally Blonde, right?
I think so.
That one was late
definitely-
90s.
Let's see.
I think Cruel Intentions was late 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Let me look. 1999. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But that was like during like the height of Selma Blair, like Selma
Yeah.
Blairing.
God, I love Selma Blair.
What's in this iced tea? Also, super fucking problematic.
Right.
But okay, what did you like about the movies still? Like, I love how both movies, like, because I don't know, it's always a fun trope for the unexpected hero, even though you know they're going to be the hero, but like, you have Elle, who it's set up that she's super smart anyway, but is just not the stereotypical lawyer. And I love that she comes to like the realization based on just everyday layman knowledge for her at the end to win the case. And in My Cousin Vinny, it's the same thing. Like, it's set up that he's very good, like a litigious person in real life, which is good at arguing. And he ends up solving the case just because it's some simple layman thing that you know, he and Mona Lisa knew at the end.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's part of what makes these movies so fun too.
Yeah, I picked up
Underdog
on that too. Yeah, it's like I liked that in both movies our heroes apply just general logic and quick wit to like win the day, and I think that's a good message to like put forward. But yeah, I picked up on that too.
Yeah. I mean, it allows us to like identify with them because they're, you know, more using more everyday things because we're not lawyers, but
right.
Yeah.
Which is also a thought I had watching this, because as a teenager, I wouldn't have thought about this, but it's just like, I wonder how lawyers feel about these movies and if they truly, truly hate them because they are just so utterly implausible and so probably fly against any rules of law and decorum and courtroom. And I don't know. Colleen, you're probably closer to this. Well, you're definitely closer to this than I am.
Okay, so fun fact, when I did my paralegal certification, well, God, 11, 12 years ago at this point, we had to pick a movie or something and like write a paper on it. And I did My Cousin Vinny.
Nice.
Please do extrapolate.
Well, I don't know. I did well on it. I presented like whatever. And it, you know, it's a movie that goes over well, like in class. I've never actually asked an attorney that I ever worked with what they thought of the movie. And I feel like I've missed out. I should have.
I am just so curious because we're particularly with Legally Blonde. It's like she is a first-year law student. Like there's no way any of this, like she would even be in a position to be like working on the case to then be in the courtroom to then like be representing the client in this high stakes murder trial.
Right. And she's like, also, they're all first year law students.
Right. It's utterly
like, none of like it's not just her and then like a whole bunch of others where we could, you know, make a case like, well, she was really smart and also hot because he wanted to hit on her.
Right.
Yeah, they're all. So it's a lot of suspension of disbelief.
Right. 100%. And I wonder, like, as a lawyer, if you can just like enjoy it, that it's so removed from reality that you can enjoy it because of that. Like, you're just like, it's just like a silly movie, and isn't Reese Witherspoon adorable, or does it drive you insane?
I kind of wonder if, like, the movies where there's such big characters that you can suspend disbelief because you're just enjoying, like, sitting back and being like, all right, like. I wonder if it's difficult if they get any aspect of like law actually wrong, and that would be a bigger issue that somebody that practices law would.
I wonder.
And I'm sure they do.
Yeah, you're like, that wouldn't happen in real life.
Add us, write in, tell us.
Yeah, let us know.
Straight.
Brian.
Yeah. Yes, please. No, but I mean, I have to think that they do because, like, for these things, like you would think that, like, especially whatever the budget was, you know, for this movie, that they would like do their research and stuff. But like, then you think about, you know, any movie for this is like my one area of expertise. Any movie that has like any French in it is probably going to be wrong. It's probably not even gonna be a French person. It's probably like Home Alone, you know, the guy in the play. Like, what the fuck? It's like, it's not that hard, right? So I have to think that probably the same thing applies to any and all of this. These types of like things where it's like, you know, you could look it up and like get, you know, hire a consultant who actually knows and make sure you get your information right, but they probably just didn't.
Funny story about you mentioning French. We, against our better judgment, we took the kids to see Mission Impossible today because we heard that, you know, it's just action. There's no like, you know, bad language or sex or like particularly bad violence. We did our due diligence beforehand. It's just really long. It's almost 3 hours. But anyway, there's a part where one of the characters is about to go unconscious and she's talking to Tom Cruise's character in French, and he's talking back to her. So there's subtitles. And I was reading the subtitles to Alex, and he just goes, "Mom, stop spoiling the movie for me." And I was like, "But don't you want to know what happened? Like what they're saying in another language?" And he was like, "You're spoiling it." And I was like,
Okay.
Oh,
I'll refrain.
Fine.
I didn't
It's
realize
just
you
like
could
full
speak
immersion.
French.
Yeah.
Yeah. My apologies. Like I yelled at. Okay, fine. Anyway, yeah.
I'm sure it's atrocious. Just saying. The actual French that they were speaking. Just
I feel like using the like, you know, plot point where the character is, you know, like about to pass out, so they're like trying to give the information before it's too late. They're like broken French and like in between like heavy breathing. I feel like that was kind of like cheating. Anyway. Okay, but back to the movies at hand. Okay, anything else about Legally Blonde? I
love her dog and all the outfits.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the dog.
Oh, like motorboard at the end.
Just love the little dog.
Yeah.
I love when she's studying and the dog is also like getting the hair done too.
And Jennifer Coolidge, we didn't even.
Jennifer Coolidge, yes, that was
the best.
So that was one of the big movies that she did after American Pie.
Yeah,
and I still, and that's when, because Jay was doing work as he was watching, but like when she was going to do the bend and snap, I was like, watch this, it's going to remind you of me.
I still, like, I'm probably unpopular opinion, but I still think the bend and snap is so stupid.
I'm with you. I was just going to say, like, I do not understand it. I understand what they're doing in the movie, but like they could have done anything that actually made sense. But, you know, it served its purpose for the hitting him.
Yeah. Right. It was just like, we need a
gag,
like, we need a moment, we need like a memorable shtick, and like, that's what they chose.
So they came
but it works though, because you still remember it.
Well, exactly. So it's like, I'm not knocking it. Like, it serves a purpose. I just think it's dumb.
Fair
but
enough.
We remember it. So like, mission accomplished.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Different mission accomplished.
Yes. Different mission accomplished.
I do want to mention something that I was watching this movie with my friend Anna, who was staying with us that night. And so we watched it together, and she picked up on something that I wouldn't have noticed.
Oh.
But if you watch the movie closely enough, Reese Witherspoon's stunt double, or like her reverse person, is very, very bad. That like the hair never matches. When you see like a reverse shot of her, like in 80% of the movie does not match. Like the hair.
I feel like I need to rewatch.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have noticed it had she been like, look at that. That's not her. That's not her. That's not her. She's like, look at the hair in this angle. Look at the hair in this angle. Very different. Sometimes there were scenes like at the end.
Interesting.
At the end after the courtroom where like they leave and it's still part of the scene, but they're like left the courtroom. Her hair, Reese Witherspoon's hair, is a different color and it's flatter. Like it's a slightly different shade of blonde. So you're like, are these all reshoots? Like, did they go back and like change things? Like, what's happening here? And it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind.
There's definitely one part that's a reshoot, because Reese I forget what the scene was, but I took note. and her hair was different and darker. And
So we are probably thinking of the same thing. It's towards the end. It's a scene, I think, with her and Luke Wilson.
I think so, but she's actually like you can tell it's her, like she's speaking.
Yes, no, it's her hair is noticeably different.
Noticeably darker.
Yeah.
Yes, I am blanking on it now, but I definitely made that note in my head. But I didn't notice like the stand-ins or the stunt doubles or anything like that.
Yeah, a lot of the scenes like in basically anytime she's sitting down.
Interesting.
So like when she's in the like the first scene where she's like getting dumped, like that's different. It's really noticeable in like the first scene with Jennifer Coolidge in the nail salon that you'd see, like you sort of see Reese Witherspoon head on, you could tell it's her face, but then any kind of reverse shot where you're looking at like her back, the hair is different, almost where it's like sort of the heads are different. So like it's you can't unsee it once you see it. Like I would have never noticed it had she not pointed it out, and then I like couldn't unsee it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I might have to go back also.
Yeah. It's worth a rewatch with that in mind.
Okay. I really did have fun time rewatching this movie. Like it does make me laugh like a lot. And I feel like it's one of the better movies that holds up overall. I think it's fucking
from
wild
2001.
From 2001.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I think it's fucking wild that like he touched her thigh once and like that was her, like she's so early on, like that was her.
That
like,
felt
fuck no.
Yeah, that felt very you know, for all its arguable faults, like that felt really on point and like
like I feel like back then
smart.
Yeah, like back then it was that I don't know because I don't remember because we were in fucking seniors in high school, so like I don't remember, but like I don't know, I feel like even if that was like now, like him just touching her knee, like it wouldn't have been called out, the plot would have gone a whole different way. And I kind of thought it was really cool that she was just like, no, I know who I am, fuck you, and you're a creep.
Well, and even the step further of just like the believing her.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even
Luke
a
Wilson
question.
Her, like,
right. It wasn't even a like, well, are you sure? Like maybe you misconstrued. Just like straight up believed her. You know, the spin realigning of like the pitting the women against each other to then have that reverse.
Loved
and
it.
And it was so quick.
That part was really clever and really like pointed and intentional. So I feel like it makes up for a lot of its potential like faults in other categories because it clearly did have. They were clearly having some important conversations, like in the crafting of the movie and the script.
Yeah, because Selma Blair's character got there so fast. Yeah, and I didn't remember where they landed at the end, but I think I was expecting them to just be like frenemies the whole time. Yeah, and so when her initial reaction, I was like, oh shit, here we go. But then right after, so proud. Good job.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that too. It was like, hooray!
Yeah, it was super unrealistic though that a first-year law student would be able to represent her, and that Luke Wilson as like a first-year associate would be like, I'm going to stand up for her when he was risking going against a good old boy bigwig that could have easily ruined his career. Right. However,
but she was really cute, so
she was super cute, but
super cute with really big boobs.
Exactly. Oh, okay. First of all, when she said that, I looked at Jay and I was like, and she doesn't even have big boobs because she doesn't.
Right. Not a single wardrobe choice was like you really saw no cleavage the whole movie.
No, they brought Jennifer Coolidge in for those tits, not Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
But Jesus, I've totally lost my train of thought because now I'm thinking about
Jennifer Coolidge boobs.
No, Reese Witherspoon's little tiny tits. Oh, so when Victor Garber does the thigh thing, Jay was watching from the dining room table as he was working. He was like, "No, I thought Victor Garber always played a good guy."
No, not
I was
always,
like, "No."
Unfortunately.
He went through a whole phase. where he
Yeah.
was sleazy too.
Yeah, he played the villain in a few movies around that time, if memory serves. I can't think of any of them, but I know I've definitely seen him play the bad guy in something else.
I was like, Jay, you got to get Titanic off your mind.
Maybe.
And it's so funny because Luke Wilson looks the exact same age.
Yeah.
Yes, also ageless.
Yeah. Before we move on to My Cousin Vinny, though, I still have the Neil Flynn Wikipedia pulled up. And I remember the other thing that I saw him in recently that is what I was thinking of. And that is, we recently watched Rookie of the Year with the kids. And he's in Rookie of the Year.
Oh. Really? Who is
he? He's one of the baseball players.
Oh, my goodness. Gosh, that's a good one.
He is, and here's my transition.
Please tell me that movie holds up. Don't ruin that for me. Don't tell me there's anything super problematic or terrible about that movie, because I don't think I can handle it.
So the super weirdest thing about Rookie of the Year is fucking Gary Busey is normal.
Oh.
And like,
is that pre or post head injury?
Pre, I think.
Okay.
And sort of attractive in a way. But that was, yeah, we did rewatch it, and it you know, it's got its issues, but at the end, spoiler alert, it is the mom that he got the baseball talent from.
Wow. I guess I really forgot a lot about this movie.
Remember, like, she says, float it. And then he looks and he undoes the mitt, and it's her name on the mitt, but he always thought it was the dad, but, like, she was knocked up as a teenager, and he didn't know his dad, and it was this whole thing where she lied to him that his dad was a baseball player. So, like, that part's kind of problematic a little bit, but, like, also, like, as a grown-up, you also are kind of like, I'm going to roll with this because I know where it goes in the end, and it's that the mom's the hero. Yeah. But I
often confuse that movie with Angels in the Outfield, too.
We also
they came out around the same time. They're both really great baseball movies with very cute tween boys in it.
Yes. But Rookie of the Year is what's his face?
From
Thomas Ian Nicholas.
Yeah, from American Pie.
American Pie, yes.
Yes.
Angels in the
true. Angels in the Outfield is Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Okay, yes.
The other three named young man from the 90s.
Yes. We also we rewatched Angels in the Outfield like a year ago with them, and they were kind of like, huh? And we're like, don't worry about it. This is our childhood. You make your own childhood memories when your parents are going to take you to see Mission Impossible 17 in a year.
I just can't get over the janitor being in that movie.
He is. So he's one of the baseball players in the movie. But here's my transition. So Daniel Stern directed that movie, I believe. And Daniel Stern is in what movie, everybody?
My Cousin Vinny.
Nope.
That's a really good guess.
That
would have been brilliant.
Well, you know, I assume this is a transition to ultimately get us to My Cousin Vinny.
So Daniel Stern is Marv in Home Alone.
Oh, great transition. That's where that name sounded familiar.
Yes.
I don't know actors' names, but that did sound familiar.
My Cousin Vinny is it's fairly children friendly, but there's a lot of cursing.
Yes.
So I tried to keep the kids out of the room while I was watching it. And Alex comes up at one point and he like can't get over the fact that what's his face is in it. Joe Pesci.
Yeah, no, it's really fucking weird. And I looked because I was like, shit, what came out first? Because My Cousin Vinny came out in 92. Home Alone 1 came out in 1990. Home Alone 2 came out in 1992. So, like, it's contemporaneous. Like, it's totally wild. Very weird to see him.
Very weird. So he kept going, that's Harry. That's Harry. Why is Harry in this movie? Harry's saying bad words. Harry said the F word. Why is Harry wearing
He tried to say the F word in Home Alone, but he just mumbled it. So he got to fly.
Yes. But anyway, so Alex was like so tickled that Joe Pesci was My Cousin Vinny, but he could not get over the fact. He was like, but he has hair. Why does he have hair? And I was like, it's a wig. Don't worry about it.
Is it a wig?
I don't know. I just told him that because I wanted him to stop bugging me about it. But Jay was like, maybe he shaved his hair for the other movie. And I was like, I don't know. A bald cap seems more reasonable, but okay. It was this whole thing that I did not look up. So anyway, My Cousin Vinny, one of my all-time favorite movies ever, because I used to watch it with my grandpa.
Aww.
And he used to always go, are you sure? And then we'd have to be like, I'm positive.
Nice.
I still love Marissa Tomei. I will love her every day. She is just, I love her in this movie. She's like such a caricature, and but I still just love it. Like just to
she's the heart.
She is the heart. She is the heart, and I love that
Yeah.
she gets to be kind of the hero at the end. Like her brain.
Yeah.
Positraction.
Yeah, I love her.
It's a trick fucking question. The 1964 Buick Skylark, I can't even say it. Buick Skylark? Buick Skylark didn't even have a blah, 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 blah. But there's so many memorable like lines in this movie. And I love that like the courtroom aspect of it. But again, Marissa Tomei, obviously, Mona Lisa Vito takes the movie. And I can't tell if I love the, like, my biological clock, boom, 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 is ticking like this. Or everybody's favorite line, imagine you're a deer. Bam! Somebody blows your head off. Do you give a fuck what kind of pants the son of a bitch who shot you was wearing? And the fact that she's in the fucking like, which is the scene where she's in the amazing bodysuit that only she could pull off?
That's when they're outside the cabin where she's like,
so
tick,
that's
tick,
the
tick.
biological clock.
The biological clock. She's wearing like that, like it's a black big floral print, skin tight. Like who can wear that?
Just her.
Yeah, see, that's where I draw the line. I'm here for crop tops. I am not here for skin tight bodysuits.
It's called disclosure, you dickhead. I've seen this movie so many times growing up. It's no wonder I have such a potty mouth. Look at what I was exposed to as a child. But yeah, no, I love this movie. I you know, it has its things. It's so fucking awkward, like how many times he's like lying about his Jerry Gallo. Oh, you mean Jelly Callow?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I love it. But it's also awkward because I know he's supposed to be like, 30, 35, but he still looks like he's 55.
Right.
And that always
like
throws
Joe
me off.
Pesci never looked young.
Right.
But I think he
Certain
was
people
like closer to 55 than 35.
Probably.
I mean, how old is he now?
We can look it up. Hold on. I still have Home Alone pulled up. Hold on. Joe Pesci. How old is Joe Pesci? He's 80 years old right now.
Whoa!
Holy shit.
So what year was
So by that account, he looks
1992.
So this was 1992?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So okay, wait, hold on. Let's do 1992 minus 1943. So he was 49 when he made that movie.
Yep. Like I said, closer to 55 than the 35.
But he was born on, oh my God, he was born on February 9th in Newark, New Jersey.
Wow.
Which just furthers my theory that Alex is reincarnated from a little old Italian mobster. He and Zachary had a fight at the pool at Jack and Cindy's pool yesterday. And it was so that the whistle got blown on them by the lifeguard. And Cindy had to take them out and talk to them. And when she talks to Alex, he goes, I'm sorry, Gigi. I'm trying to work on my emotions.
Damn.
Like, what fucking 5-year-old says that? And I was like, Alex. And then as we were leaving after I picked them up, we're going home. And Zach was doing something that was bothering Alex. And he just goes, for the love of God, Zachary, stop talking. And I was like, wait. I was like, what? He was like, what? What? I didn't say shut up.
You didn't.
No, I was like, where did you hear "for the love of God" from? He was like, and he and Zachary both went "you," and I was like, okay.
And it's not a swear word.
Yeah, it's not a swear word.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Anyway, my cousin Vinny. What do we like? What do we don't? What's problematic? What holds up still?
So I'd say the problematic thing, like the big one, is the whole like misunderstanding. It's supposed to be comedy, but the misunderstanding when Harry first comes on the scene, and by Harry I mean Vinny, in the prison, and the other guy assumes that he's going to be sexually assaulted, and like that's not funny.
No.
You know it's actually even more not funny is that's definitely still a joke that like a Staten Island filmmaker would make today, thinking it's
right. But there's a certain part of the population that still doesn't see a
thinks
problem
that's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's not funny if it's happening to women, it's not funny if it's happening to men, it's not funny if it's happening to incarcerated people, it's not funny if it's happening to anybody.
Yeah.
Not funny. But I mean it's very, very of the era. And I think like I didn't see this movie when it first came out. I think I saw it once when I was maybe in like grad school, and then this was my second time. But I'm sure if I would have seen it in the early 90s, I probably would have like laughed at that. But
right.
Yeah. But again, it was the early 90s, and we
weren't having the conversation. We weren't having the conversations we're having today.
Right.
Yeah.
I do love though that in the end it's the woman with the superior knowledge of cars that saves the day.
Yep.
And saves his ass too by having the judge that was his like sponsor very unethically call up and lie for him.
Yes.
That's weird, but you know, whatever.
Right. Again, back to my point about like what do lawyers actually think about these movies?
Right. Luckily it was in 1992, so like the internet didn't exist and he couldn't just like look people up, so that helped. But I
did think of that too. I was like, oh man,
it's like certain parts of that movie just like wouldn't work in a modern era because it's just like, well, you're DOA.
Yeah. Or at that point, Mona Lisa would have like really quickly set up a website for him that was like super famous.
Right. Yeah. There you go. There's always a solution. The other thing that I didn't like was how much of a dick he is to her. And in the, by the end of it, they like make up, but it's like, he's a dick, and we're supposed to just like sort of
We're supposed
take
to
it.
It's like we're supposed to think that's part of the joke of just like, oh, they've got this kind of like this quirky dynamic.
But that's a very Italian relationship joke.
Yeah, but you can't be like borderline abusive to people.
But again, that's
don't care about culture. That's
That's a very Italian relationship joke of that era. Like, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but like, that is definitely.
I mean, I think the larger culture also, even at the time, that
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Which is funny because then, like, society always talks about how women are quote unquote emotional. It's like he's the one that's being a fucking dick ass because he's not getting any sleep, but like also neither is she. But anyway.
I do think it's funny that, and I've always thought it was funny that the one good night's sleep he gets is when he's in prison because he used to like that New York City loud noises. I've always liked that joke. I always thought it was pretty funny.
That is funny. I always just because he was just so tired.
No, it's the noise, like the instead of just dead
it is much funnier now when you explain it to me.
Yeah,
because as all jokes are, once they're explained, they're way funnier. That's how comedy works.
I love the scene where he does show up in the courthouse in the outfit,
the awesome
the purple
suit.
the like maroon tuxedo,
the velvet tuxedo,
the like magician's tuxedo. Yes,
no, that's pretty great.
And you guys know that the judge is Herman Munster, right?
Yes. It was like I had to look him up afterwards because I was like,
I thought he looked familiar and I couldn't place it.
See, I was watching the Munsters on Nick at Night at the time that I first saw that movie. So I was like, oh my god, it's Herman Munster.
That's hilarious.
And then the guy that plays the DA, Lane Smith, is the Perry White from the Lois and Clark New Adventures of Superman with Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher.
Mm-hmm. He's been in a bunch of stuff. I feel like he's always kind of
he's
like
been in a lot of stuff.
The lovable bad guy.
Yes.
You know, like that's a weird way to phrase it, but like I hope you get where I'm going with that.
Right, like he's the enemy, but he's also not like a dick enemy. Like he's the other side. He's in that movie.
And maybe that's just like him as an actor, like he just does a good job of making you see the humanity in the bad guy.
Yeah, maybe
because
he could have like portrayed it, but he's like, you know, he could have portrayed it kind of dickish, but he's very jolly, like, oh, let's go hunting, and yeah, you want my notes here? I'm gonna have them copy it all for you, and but that's also part of the joke that Harry doesn't realize that he's entitled to that legally.
I love that we're fully going Harry on this. Yes.
Yep.
Go full Harry.
Go full Harry.
Yeah, no, that was
It's called disclosure, you dickhead.
And my question, and this is again like where you just have to suspend your disbelief. Okay, it took him like 6 tries to pass the bar. Okay, fair enough. It's a hard test. But that means that by the 6th time, he like is supposed to, and ostensibly before he passed the bar, he graduated from law school. So like basic things that the audience knows, like he should know. But okay, like again, we'll just go with it. But that was one thing where it's like, yeah.
Oh, you know, maybe that's why he looks so old, because they're trying to tell you that like he took the bar exam for like 6 years in a row after he went to law school, but he went to law school after he was like already kind of like a little bit older. All right,
like
well that makes sense.
And
and then I guess that makes sense why her biological clock was ticking, because back then people thought that like 30 was your biological clock ticking.
Right.
Yeah.
So really, if you think about it, Joe Pesci was the original WB actor, where he was a 50-year-old trying to play like a 35-year-old.
He could have been in Greece. Yeah.
Truly, why wasn't he in Greece?
Why wasn't he? I think he was too short.
And the man sing.
We know he can wear the hell out of some velour.
That was pretty great.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, I do. I love that movie so much. And we didn't even talk about how fucking Ralph Macchio is in that movie.
Oh, Ralph Macchio.
I love it. I love Ralph Macchio.
I do too.
I'm glad that he grew up to not be problematic. I don't think he's not problematic.
No, he's
right?
like a super nice guy.
Oh.
Yeah,
from what I understand, I mean, I don't know him personally. That made it seem like I did. I don't.
Everything I've heard is
I listened to and he was on Wait, Don't Tell Me like last
Oh.
year, and the interview was so delightful.
Oh,
He was so nice. He was like, yeah, sometimes I drive down like the LIE, like blasting that song from Karate Kid. He's like, I do it too. I use it as a pump up song too. Like, you're an adorable Ralph Macchio. Thank you. Aww. Thank you for not being problematic.
Because he lives in I believe it's Miller Place on Long Island, or he did, or Port Jeff, like that North Shore area near my parents' house. Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, good times. And then the dude that played his friend, I thought, but I was wrong because I looked it up. I thought that he was the guy that played the friend in Ferris Bueller.
No,
but he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not.
Cameron.
Yeah,
he's not. Is in Succession.
That's right.
Alan Ruck?
Yeah, he's the guy that's the oldest brother, right?
He plays Connor Roy.
Yes.
Holy fucking shit.
Did I just blow your world?
You just blew my goddamn mind. And now oh my god, now like because there was a gnawing.
Yeah.
In the back of my head.
Yeah.
So do you guys?
Oh my god! Side note: we finished.
Oh my goodness! For another episode, I can't wait to hear everything.
Yeah.
Well, I know Colleen has to finish it first, but yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's good, right? They land the plane.
Yeah, they landed the plane. They did. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm still kind of stuck on. Wow.
Yeah.
Connor.
So you watched the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. Didn't
Yeah.
even heard him as a guest on Love It or Leave It, and didn't
Oh, he was on Love It or Leave It?
He
Oh,
was.
fun.
And it was a tricky time because like hadn't even started season 4
Gotcha.
yet. So
So
and Lovett talked about Succession. He made Succession references a lot, unapologetically, and
That sounds like Love
gave
It.
zero fucks about anyone who hadn't caught up on like several episodes, and like he never knew when they were coming, so I had to be very careful for a while. But yeah, he was a guest.
Yeah,
Nice.
all of the cocaine jokes on Pod Save America recently have been very
Excellent.
funny.
Oh my gosh.
Including the one where Lovett was like, "That sounds like the kind of boyfriend I need."
Yes. I hate beating a joke to death, but like at
They've
least
done a
they're
fun
at least they're very clever jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but what I was gonna say is, do you guys know what we probably best know the actor that was Stan from? I think you're never gonna guess it.
You're gonna blow my mind again.
I don't know if
Well.
I'm gonna blow your mind, but you're gonna be like, oh.
The stakes
You
are
ready?
that high.
Blown by both broads.
Yeah,
Mind's
blown
blown.
by two broads. The stakes are not high for this one, though. He was Barry in Friends, like Rachel's orthodontist fiance that she runs away from.
Oh. Huh. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
He did look familiar, but
Yeah.
he just kind of had that.
I like that for him.
That look.
Yeah, I love that for him too. But yeah, that's that. Once I looked that up, I was like, oh, okay, that's where I know him from. Yeah, good times. Okay, any last thoughts on My Cousin Vinny before we take a quick break and get to the feedback? Because we got a lot of feedback from listeners on this.
I just wanted to say,
okay,
the grits. I appreciate the
grits.
Yeah,
because I have had conversations with people because I still don't understand grits, but
they taste good though.
I like grits.
Got it.
No self-respecting Southern.
Different ways that you could do it. Sweet, savory.
Yeah.
Corn.
I do sort of love the like grits perm comparison. Like when you really look at them on their face, it's like a very similar like a trope almost. They follow the same beats, and I really actually sort of loved that in watching the two movies together.
I did too. I did too. I love that.
Yeah, I was hoping there'd be some fun comparisons, and it was fun to actually like go on the journey of the two movies together. I think this was an interesting and a fun pairing.
Good, it was a fun pairing.
Great pairing.
Yeah.
Great pairing.
For sure. Yeah. It was a fun pairing. And I'm glad that both movies are movies. Again, I can't say this enough, or that I don't feel bad rewatching.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're, you know, for problems aside, like they're entertaining. Like they're entertaining, and they tell a good story, and they have good jokes. And really like that's.
And the things that are bad are things that you can recognize and acknowledge.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't take away from the fact that it's still a entertaining story with a beginning, middle, and an end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's take a quick break, and we will come back and do some feedback. Here we go. All right. We're back. We're going to do some feedback. So we had a lot of awesome feedback this week. And we are going to save, we're only going to, for time's sake, we're only going to do the feedback that is related to the two movies. And we will do the rest of the feedback next week, which I am excited to get to. Yes. So the first bit of feedback is from the Facebook group. And that would be from Tucker. And he says, ooh, Lane Smith is in My Cousin Vinny. He played the perfect Perry White in one of my favorite childhood shows, The New Adventures of Superman.
There you go.
But it wasn't The New Adventures of Superman. Wasn't it Lois and Clark, The Adventures of Superman? Anyway.
It was.
Very technical here. Only know this because I'm so ashamed to admit that Dean Cain was my first celebrity crush. I think that's why I went so hard for Brendan, what's-his-face, afterwards, because definitely a less MAGA version of Dean Cain, who ended up being real bad. real bad. Let's see. Next up, we have some feedback from Margaret, and she says, "I think my husband and I can quote my cousin Vinny word for word. We always watch it whenever we find it on the guide." Margaret, we should definitely do some kind of, I don't know, watch along for my cousin Vinny because I can also quote it, and I was doing so. Tucker then responded to Margaret saying, "I've never seen my cousin Vinny, but as a New England Patriots fan, I really want to watch it because Bill Belichick uttered the no Mona Lisa, no Mona Lisa veto line in a presser, and I've always been intrigued for that reason alone." What's the line? Oh, I don't know this. Hold on. Bill Belichick, Mona Lisa veto. Okay, it's like the first thing that comes up. Let's see. It says, I wouldn't. Okay, here it is. "I would not say I'm the Mona Lisa veto of the football world, as she was in the car expertise area." Okay, so it was a compliment.
Yeah, give him props.
Cool. Yep.
Yes. Tucker, if you're listening to this, it's a fun movie. Go watch it. It's fun. And Mona Lisa's the fucking best. The shit. Okay, Matt says unrelated. I want to watch. I checked out Joyride this weekend. I think it's totally up the Broad's alley. I do want to see it, but I'm going to Comic-Con, and it's going to have to wait a few weeks till I get back.
I want to go too. We'll see when it happens.
Same.
Wasn't the original title for that movie like Sex Club or something?
I don't know.
I'm not kidding. Original title, Joyride.
Interesting.
Let's see. Oh, it was supposed to originally, the working title was The Joy Fuck Club.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. I knew I read something about it. Let's see. Moving on. Amy says, "For years, Legally Blonde was my go-to if I had a really bad day. The Elle Woods character is very empowering. She doesn't let anything get in the way of her goals." Yes, yeah. I love that. And I love Holland Taylor in that movie, which we didn't even talk about.
Yes, Holland Taylor. I had to look up her name afterward because I was like, who is this? I know this. Who is this?
Love me some Holland Taylor.
Yes.
And I love that at the end, she's the one, after kicking her out in her first class, is like, "You're not the girl that I thought you were."
Mm-hmm.
Good thing she was at that exact same nail place.
Well, you know what? If she wasn't,
just like the Jiminy Cricket of the movie.
Yeah.
She's like, "I believe in you, kid."
Okay, so for feedback, we're going to end with a voicemail from Maggie and an email from Matt that both talk about the movies. We've got some other great feedback from Kate and Jack from Singapore, and we will get to that next episode. Okay, let's start with the voicemail from Maggie. Here we go.
Hey, Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. It's Maggie. Got some my cousin Vinny feedback. And happy birthday, Amanda. I'm actually calling on your birthday, so yay.
Yeah.
Hope you have a great day. All right, I watched my cousin Vinny last night for the first time. I don't know how, I've never seen it, but I just haven't, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was, I think I've seen enough, like, lawyer movies, like Legally Blonde, and TV shows to sort of know a little bit what was going to happen, but I still really liked it. Just at the beginning, I was just like, man, for two smart boys, they are sure dumb, or just have no common sense, or street smarts. I don't know what it was at the beginning. They were just, idiots. And I guess that, it's a totally different world, 31 years ago, in this movie, but, that they just confessed without knowing what the crime was at the beginning. Like, I feel like that was a little crazy, but yeah. I also kind of thought, for some reason, that the logging truck that they passed was going to have something to do with it, because they showed it again, and I guess it was just showing that if they hadn't passed the logging truck, that it never would have happened. Thought of that this morning. So, the other part was funny was when Vinny was trying to get some sleep in the town, and I was like, can we just get him some earplugs? He needs some earplugs. Marissa Tomei was amazing. Loved her. The one thing that was a little distracting, which I did look up during the movie, was the age difference between Marissa Tomei and Joe Pesci. It's 21 years. So that part was a little bit distracting and a little like, really? But, because, I mean, Joe Pesci is 49 when he did this movie. So, like, kind of him just being a young law student, I don't know, that just was a little hard to swallow. I mean, it's Joe Pesci, and I just know him from so many things. But Marissa Tomei was really great, and I really enjoyed it. So thanks for that. It was funny, and did love how Marissa Tomei saved the day. Mona Lisa, which was great, and everybody didn't believe her, wasn't going to believe her, and then the lawyer was Mighty Ducks. Gordon's first coach, I can't think of his name, but he was in the Mighty Ducks. Where do I know him from? Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Enjoyed my cousin Vinny. Sorry, was almost done. That's what she said. I knew I was rambling, but I was trying to wrap it up. So, yes, really enjoyed my cousin Vinny. I'd never seen it before, so that was fun. And I hope to rewatch Legally Blonde before your episode comes out. I don't know that will happen, but I'm going to try. But I do love Legally Blonde, and Elle Woods is the best. And Bend and Snap. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so she also noticed the awkward age difference and how he looks like a 75-year-old brand new lawyer.
For real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, she made 2 points. One I wrote down, and then, of course, the second one, she made it while I was writing down the first point. Now I forgot what it was, but it's funny, I shot the sheriff? Is that, like, a direct joke for the song? I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy?
I don't know. I'm not sure I picked up on the joke in the movie to begin with.
But anyway. And then what else? Oh, Lane Smith! Mighty Ducks. Duh.
Huh.
I
don't remember.
He's the other coach, isn't he?
In the first movie.
In the first Mighty Ducks.
Oh, I suppose so. He had like a black bomber jacket.
Yes?
Maybe.
I know he's the other coach in...
I guess I had forgotten about that.
And it came out the same year as My Cousin Vinny, 1992.
He had a very prolific year.
Yes, apparently he and Joe Pesci were like the go-to actors.
They were like, gotta make that money, gotta make that
well,
bang.
Something for everyone.
Yeah.
Do a kid movie,
Yeah, Maggie, if I remember what you said the first time, I will blurt it out. There was another thing, though, that I meant to write down while you were talking. That I wrote down. I shot the sheriff too slowly.
Maggie mentioned the naivete of our two young protagonists.
Yes.
And just the way that they... And I have to say, and this was very much a thing for most of our lives, but I do not enjoy when everything rests on a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
I kind of actually hate that shit.
Yeah, but that is very real life, though.
I mean, yes and no. Sometimes I feel like if a joke gets dragged out so much, you're like, come on. Like, it just...
Exactly. Communicate a little better.
Yeah.
But it's also for the sake of comedy, too. It's
right.
But is it funny? And to many people, apparently it is. But I'm just saying, to me, I hate that shit. And it's one of the things that I love about Ted Lasso is they don't let that fly.
Yeah.
No, Thank you, Maggie. Let us know when you do watch Legally Blonde what you thought. Rewatch it, rather.
Indeed.
All right. And we also got a bit of feedback from Kate on Instagram. She said, love both of these so much. My Cousin Vinny is actually one of my top 3 favorite movies. Not only is it so funny at every turn, but Marissa Tomei is so badass with knowing about cars when she's a witness in court. Top moment, Vinny in court in the ridiculous suit, and the judge tells him he's holding him in contempt of court, and he says, there's a fucking surprise. kills me every time.
So
Second, that was so great. Second favorite moment: Vinny looking through pictures, ranting how they aren't helpful, and he finds one of him in the shower and says it'll clinch the case. Oh, I can't even stand how much I love the movie. But as we talked about, he was kind of a dick in that moment, though.
Yeah.
But it is funny. You solved the case. Anyway, thanks, Kate.
Indeed.
All right. Let's finish up with an email from Matt, which I think this might set the record for the longest Matt email.
All
It's
right.
pretty long.
It's pretty long. Let's do it. That's what she said.
Matt writes in, my cousin Vinny / Legally Blonde feedback. Hey, broads. This month we have a double feature of 2 unlikely lawyers, my cousin Vinny and Legally Blonde. Honestly, I've never seen either of them.
What?
Or at least not all the way through. My mom loves Legally Blonde, so I've seen scenes here and there. So now we've come to my thoughts, which I believe you are both highly anticipating and highly dreading in equal measure.
You are correct, sir.
I knew going into my cousin Vinny that it is pretty accurate regarding how court cases are handled.
Obviously.
Hopefully, Brian, the DP specialist, gave you some insight into that. I think we all know court scenes in TV and movies, like a lot of things, aren't played for realism. But this shows you can get closer to reality and still be an entertaining film.
Okay.
Yeah.
We also have Marissa Tomei winning an Oscar, beating Judy Davis, Vanessa Redgrave, Miranda Richardson, and I swear this is not a porn name, Joan Plowright. She was married to Laurence Olivier. I thought she was fine, and it's nice to see a comedic
I think he
performance.
means plowright.
Sorry, I don't know how that. Yes, Plowright.
Well, I think plowright would be the more porn name.
Well, I fucked that up. Plowright. You know, whenever I read like especially like a Matt email or something where there are famous people's names and I know I'm gonna fuck them up because I don't know famous people, I like kind of gets in my head. And this one I wasn't meant to know, but I still fucked it up. Joan Plowright. Anyway, Matt goes on. I thought she was fine, and it's nice to see a comedic performance get an Oscar, but it does result in expectations that the performance can't live up to. Well, maybe it lived up to them in 1992, Matt. Not that that's her fault, and she definitely didn't deserve all the crap she got for winning. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know that either.
She did get a lot of crap for winning.
That's so shitty.
Because, you know, there's always like...
She didn't ask for anything.
Right?
She like did a job. People gave her an award for it.
Yeah, she did a job. She did it really effing well, and she got rewarded for doing her job really effing well.
If I remember correctly, and I found this out later in my research into the movie writing, because I believe I've written maybe 2 papers on it actually, once in like actual college.
You're very prolific.
Really love this movie. Love this movie. But I believe that it was one of those like controversial things because it wasn't like some serious like, you know, Shakespeare-ish drama part, and she came in and did this like big comedy role where it was like, well, how much is she really acting, blah 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 blah, and like, you know, people get pissy,
right? Because the Oscars love nothing more than to take themselves way too seriously.
Yes, it's a fucking popularity contest, people. All the awards are.
I would argue it's harder to be funny than it is to be serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not everyone can deliver a joke.
Yeah, that's fair. Matt goes on to say, at least the Moonlight / La La Land fiasco proved Jack Palance didn't read the wrong name, as some theorized. Okay. There's also a ton of great character actors in this one. Like, see, here we go again with all the names.
I'll read them.
James. No, that's okay. James Rebhorn, Lane Smith, and Bruce McGill. We also get Fred Gwynne's final narrative film performance. Ultimately, it's Pesci's, see, I know how to say that one, show, and he's a lot of fun in the role. Originally, Gambini was supposed to be a larger, more intimidating presence, but Goodfellas, which won his Oscar for while they shot this, showed he could work, and I think there's a benefit comedically for someone of Pesci's stature. Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen another one of these, and there were plans, but no sequels came into fruition. There was, however, an album Pesci recorded in character called Vincent LaGuardia Gambini Sings Just For You.
Oh my God, I did not know this.
Wow. It also borrows a lot from his mom characters, and I swear if you don't know about this is very real and not something I plugged into some AI.
This is very real.
And he gives the YouTube link.
Maybe.
And for some reason, the Grammys thought The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill was a better album.
Okay, well, I will be linking to this in the show notes. Don't you all worry. After I watch this about 14 times.
Matt continues. Holy crap, I haven't gotten to Legally Blonde yet. I liked this one too. Witherspoon in the role that made her a superstar really makes the movie. Elle Woods could have been a ridiculous caricature, but Witherspoon in the script, written by Karen Lutz and Kirsten Smith of 10 Things I Hate About You fame, based on a book that also came out in 2001, gave her depth and shows it's not some fluke that she got into Harvard. Very true. Mm-hmm. We see early on with the snooty sales girl. While she's very interested in fashion and looks, she's not stupid, and it would be a bad choice to underestimate her. That is ultimately the feminist message of the film, and I'm sure why it's become an enduring figure in pop culture. We know things that appeal to girls often get looked down upon, whether it be boy bands, Twilight, or fashion magazines covered in pink. Another movie would have had her forsake the pinks for a traditional lawyer garb and have her quote-unquote grow up. However, that's not the case, and she didn't need to change who she was. It's a great point. Mm-hmm. A lyric from...
Also, I would not compare Twilight to Legally Blonde, but continue. I take offense to that. Sorry.
Hey, there's a lot to be said about Twilight.
I know. You've said it all.
A couple of times. A lyric from The Vampire Diaries, sidebar, yes, I watched The Vampire Diaries, is... See, there's nothing wrong with fucking vampire stuff. Is wrong, and a big part of her arc is realizing this guy she wanted to marry was a smug asshole the whole time. Wait, he's talking about...
Warner.
No, but he's talking...
The actor that plays Warner was in The Vampire Diaries.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Okay.
Huh. I guess.
I didn't watch
Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
I had nothing against it. I just didn't watch it.
Just, yeah.
So, yeah, realizing that she didn't want to marry him the whole time. Of course, he argues for the rando sperm donor's rights with the kid. Yeah, that was like, yeesh.
That was like peak Republican right there.
Yeah. The way she carried herself with the accused widow, believing in her and not breaking attorney-client privilege when told an alibi is the kind of thing you'd want when represented in court. And ultimately, it is her knowledge of girly things that wins the case. It's a big hero moment when she comes to court in the end, decked out in all pink, and it wouldn't work otherwise. I could really see this working as a TV series, and it probably would have been had it come out today. Considering its popularity to this day, I wouldn't be surprised if a Liga sequel? A Liga sequel.
I'll Google it. Hold on.
Okay.
Legacy sequel. He means legacy
sequel. What?
Yes. Apparently a legacy sequel are nowadays, like Halloween had something that just came out recently, and
like Hocus Pocus.
Scream and New Hocus Pocus. Yeah, that's a legacy sequel.
Okay. AKA going back to our childhood, because we are the ones that are now like buying things, and also people can't think of anything new.
A legacy
sequel way of pandering or
yes, it is
refurbishing IP.
Yes, it is a film or series in which beloved aging stars reprise classic roles and pass the torch to younger successors.
Yeah. Also known as a cop-out. Yeah. Also known as lazy. Also known as
I don't know.
I might still watch it, but I would also like be annoyed by it.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know. I'm having fun. We weren't annoyed by Hocus Pocus that much.
I was annoyed that they did that.
I was annoyed less by it than I thought I was going to.
Yes, no, that's
very
true.
fair.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, so considering its popularity to this day, I wouldn't be surprised if a legacy sequel hasn't been kicked around, especially with the reemergence of Jennifer Coolidge, good point, who doesn't get as much to do as I expected. Just remember when it came out. But it's cool to see her, even though she says two things that wouldn't be okay today.
oh shit, what did she say?
But,
I didn't write
It's
everything
very
down.
specific
so,
that like two things. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, what two things?
Yeah, no,
boy.
I'm sure they're, yeah.
I am
Yeah.
sure she did.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
Jennifer Coolidge has always been an actor that has not been afraid to go there.
Yes.
Anyway,
Also, 2001 was just not a.
it was a time.
Yeah,
It was a time. Yeah.
Okay, while comedies tend to age worse than dramas, these, I think, came out mostly well. You can definitely get rid of the stuttering lawyer in Vinny. Yeah.
Yes, that was what I was going to talk about.
That was so weird.
Unnecessary.
So bad. Yes. Oh my god, I can't believe we didn't talk about that. So bad.
Yeah.
Because it's
yeah,
like
that was-
utterly
that was not great.
unremarkable. Like it doesn't need to be in the movie at all. Like it
Right?
No.
It doesn't add anything to it.
It doesn't
it's not
add
fucking funny.
anything.
No.
It's mean.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah,
just mean.
It just equates like stuttering with stupidity, and that's like awful, just terrible and untrue.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to talk to Alex about that actually. I can't believe I totally forgot about that. To mention that.
Yeah. It's not great. So yeah, I agree. We all agree, Matt, that we can definitely get rid of the stuttering lawyer in Vinny and show him be bad at his job in some other way. Yes, like actually be bad at his job. I also don't think the misunderstanding when Vinny meets Stan would work today. I agree.
As you said.
Agreed.
Yeah. Also, Enid and LB would probably be a little more nuanced in her feminism rather than making arguments at parties that sound like things that Fox News makes up to keep their viewers mad. But they're not enough to sink either film. All right.
I think Enid's thing was that bad. Because that was when she was like, oh, would you call me a dyke? And that's when Elle Woods just looks at her and is like, ew, no, I don't say that word.
Yeah.
All right. This is going on longer than a real life court case. So I'll wrap up here. Wrap up here as we get ready for Barbenheimer, Matt.
Oh, I'm so excited for Barbenheimer.
Yeah, me too.
I'm picking Barbie first, and I'll see Oppenheimer if I have the time. But
Really?
Barbie all the way. Yeah, I can't wait to see Barbie. I'm so excited. Have you not seen all the press stuff that they've been doing?
No,
Where
that's
she's been
true. I'm sorry, because my
picking
brain
ass
went. This is where my brain went. It went, oh, I think I'd rather go for the downer and then have the Barbie upper to like.
Oh, that's a good point. Actually, I read that. I read a comment somewhere that they said that they would do Oppenheimer in the morning, because they were going to go for a double feature with their mom, and they were going to do Oppenheimer in the morning, go for drinks, and then do Barbie in the afternoon.
Yeah. So
But
that's
I
where
wanna
my brain
Yeah.
went, where you were like gonna do both movies, definitely, but you did not. That's not what you actually said. So that was my response. I just wanted to clarify.
No, I'm prioritizing Barbie because I think
That's
it's going to be super, super fun.
Yes.
The marketing has been amazing.
I think it's really gonna.
They
Be a
even
good
had
movie.
Barbie themed Prime Day shit. Like,
Wow.
Do they really? I didn't
Yes.
see that. Damn.
I got marketed. I get targeted advertisement for like Barbie themed luggage and Barbie themed this and that. But it wasn't
Man,
like
you get much better
over.
target marketing than I do.
I'm not sure what that says about me, but like,
Oh.
yeah, like I'm super stoked, and I love the ever loving crap out of every outfit that Margot Robbie has worn to dress like a Barbie doll. And they all actually, except for America Ferrera, because she's playing a human being in the movie. But I saw Issa Rae was dressed as one of the Barbie characters, and like it seems like they're all kind of like
Into
dressing. Yeah, it looks super fun.
Yeah.
And I'm very sad now that the strike means that we're not going to get any more really fun Barbie cast outfits. But whatever, they need to be paid.
Yep.
But anyway, thank you for your feedback, Matt. I feel like we were generally on the same page.
Yes.
I think this is the most on the same page we may have ever been.
About
like
both
it.
movies.
About both movies. I like this for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Although he did a good job with "Oh You There, God It's Me," Margaret, too, to his credit.
Yes.
That is fair. That is fair.
Thank you, Matt. And thank you for introducing us to the Vincent LaGuardia Gambini album.
Yes.
Which is a whole
Snubbed.
ass thing.
Snubbed.
Snubbed.
Robbed by Lauryn Hill.
My lord.
Yeah. And I'm sure she was like 14 hours late to the Grammys to accept that award too. So whatever. All right. On that note, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you to the patrons, especially the ones that contribute a certain level, and that would be Eckhart Rickner, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, and Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. If you'd like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/JayandJack. We'd be happy for your support. It goes to support everybody on the network. Thank you to everybody that gave us feedback today. Excited to read the feedback. So any feedback about this movie or anything else, let us know. And yeah. Does anybody else have any last minute thoughts about the movies, or are we good?
I think we're good.
We are good.
Well, one more time, I'm just going to say it's called disclosure, dickhead. Because I'm clearly enjoying myself every time I say that. And on that note, thanks, everybody. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.